What's going on, everybody? TRAE4PAY back in the building, coming at you guys with part 2 of day 9. This is going to be a really quick intro. I just want to say thank you all once again for sticking with me. And this was a frustrating one because we get into more of the interrogation footage and Darrell is just lying through his teeth about everything. So I apologize if it's a bit much on camera. So I just want to give everyone a warning about that. The selfishness that he displays in the interrogation footage, it is very, very frustrating. But before we begin, I do just want to say thank you to a few people. So thank you so much to Becky Winkler for a $5 donation. I really do appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching along. Thank you to Ms. Rebecca Reams for another $10 donation. I'm glad you had a good birthday. Thank you so much for letting me know that you watched my videos on your birthday. I really do appreciate that, and I hope you had a good time. Thank you so much to Rhonda Mallet for a $2 donation. I'm sorry if I didn't say your last name right, but I really do appreciate it, and thank you for watching along as well. And last but not least, thank you so much to Nancy Moore for a $10 Buy Me a Coffee donation. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all so much. And as always, no one has to send me a single thing, guys. If you would like to donate to the community of Waukesha instead, there are links pinned at the top of the comment section. So if you're looking for resources to donate to the victims and the actual community, it is right there for you. Okay, I don't want to hold you guys up any longer. I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you.
The record, Mr. Brooks has been removed to the other courtroom. The jury is not present, and the witness that was on the stand is also not present in the courtroom.
Actually, he is, Judge.
Oh, all right, then we'll have him removed. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. I didn't see him seated all the way back behind a couple of individuals. So this morning, Mr. Brooks, prior to the court removing him, had interrupted the court approximately 10 times prior to 10:19 a.m.
Feels like it was even more than that.
He was removed. This does not include the repeated commentary, either under his breath but still audible for the court to hear, the jury to hear, and witnesses to hear, related to a variety of topics, including subject matter, jurisdiction, misconduct by the court, disapproval with the court's rulings. This very last witness was a witness called out of order at the request of Mr. Brooks.
That's so strange. I forgot about that. That's his witness.
I know the attorneys are well aware, and certainly this court is well aware. Under 906.11, the court shall exercise reasonable control over the mode and order of interrogating witnesses and presenting evidence so as to do all of the following: make the interrogation and presentation effective for the ascertainment of truth, avoid needless consumption of time, protect witnesses from harassment or undue embarrassment. That's all under sub 1. Sub 2, scope of cross-examination. A witness may be cross-examined on any matter relevant to any issue in the case, including credibility. In the interest of justice, the judge may limit cross-examination with respect to matters not testified to on direct examination. I frankly haven't exercised my authority under that particular subsection. I have generally relied upon sub 1. In addition, sub 3 says the following: leading questions. Leading questions should not be used on the direct examination of a witness except as may be necessary to develop the witness's testimony. Ordinarily, leading questions should be permitted on cross-examination. And during the cross-examination of this last witness, Mr. Brooks objected almost without fail, if not without fail, to every single question asked by the state on grounds of either leading or relevance. And then when the court overruled the objections, as time went on, it seemed to me that his commentary became much more audible. He was muttering under his breath and clearly showing disrespect for the court and the proceedings.
And this, sorry to pause so early. This is why I call him an opportunist as well. Let me scoot over a bit. Yeah, but this is why I call him an opportunist as well. He's sitting in a courtroom right now, no power, he's in chains, and he chose to weaponize basically whatever he can, which in this case is just his objections. Like, he can't do anything right now, but he feels like, okay, the objections is that's my way. This is how I can slow things down. The subject matter jurisdiction, the ICF thing that he tried to do last time, that's not working. So I'll just weaponize objections, and everybody has to slow down the way that I really want this whole thing to.
In my opinion, they're baseless objections. Again, because this witness was brought into court on a subpoena that was from Mr. Brooks, served, of course, by the state to assist with him in that regard. But the state was well within its rights to ask leading questions. It's this court's opinion that the repeated interruptions by way of baseless objections is to disrupt these proceedings, disrupt the testimony of the witnesses, and in particular, Mr. Marquez. This court has been abundantly patient this morning, noting the repeated interruptions by Mr. Brooks, starting right away at 8:31. There were a couple of interruptions continuing at 8:37. At 8:48, I think we had a total of 5 more at that point or so. At 8:49, and then of course at 10:19, this court removed him under its authority in Illinois versus Allen. I also had warned him, or at least at times I would give the jury an admonishment, not really an admonishment, but an instruction, please disregard the commentary by Mr. Brooks. It's been very apparent that any time this jury is brought in or taken out, Mr. Brooks begins making statements that are misstatements of the law, or generally his disagreement with whatever is going on at that particular time, accusing the court of either bias or misconduct, accusing this court of hiding information from this jury. This court is not doing any such thing. I will make a finding that based upon the conduct of Mr. Brooks, that he has forfeited his right to be present during the cross-examination and any redirect of Mr. Marquez.
Nice.
Mr. Brooks's conduct has been anything but respectful today. It's been disruptive. As this court was stepping off the bench, he made some type of statement about contempt. Are you finding me in contempt? This court is well aware that one of the permissible ways to handle a defendant who shows flagrant disregard in the courtroom for elementary standards of proper conduct is to find a defendant in contempt. However, I'm not dealing with a defendant who is out of custody. I'm dealing with a defendant who is in custody on very serious charges, including, if convicted, facing the possibility of life sentences without the possibility of extended supervision.
So, okay, I noticed that he screams that out pretty much every time she sends him to the other courtroom. Like, are you holding me in contempt? Am I in contempt now? So, okay, this is just another question I have for you all. I'm probably just going to look it up here in a second, but when you're held in contempt, does that mean that, like, is it similar to a mistrial of some sort? Like, when that happens, maybe the trial starts over in some way? I'm not too sure what it is. I mean, honestly, I'm going to look it up here in a second, but if anyone would like to explain that to me in the comments, like, I would really appreciate that. I'm going to try to get a quick definition of it. I'll let it play. There was something else I wanted to say, but I'll just let it play.
It is my opinion that finding him in contempt is not really a viable alternative to this court. Frankly, it would, in my opinion, it would serve to give the defendant, let me restate that. In my opinion, if this court were to find Mr. Brooks in contempt, it would allow him to profit from his own wrongdoing because it would result in a delay of these proceedings. I would have to, of course, make certain findings. One of the possibilities for contempt is to hold him in custody until such time as he's willing to abide by the rules. That is just not something this court is willing to even do because it would delay the proceedings.
Okay, so she kind of just cleared it up a little bit there. So basically, he just wants to be, excuse me, he wants to be held in contempt, basically, so he can delay the trial as he.
I am aware that that is a option identified by the Supreme Court in Illinois versus Allen, but I would remind the parties once again that Illinois versus Allen was decided in 1970. Certainly the technology that we have available in this courtroom was not something available to the parties in Illinois versus Allen. We have a very new state-of-the-art courthouse that I am operating out of. I'm in courtroom 13. Next door is courtroom 20. These are just the room numbers that I'm referring to. As you can see, we have the ability to see and hear into that courtroom, and that courtroom has the ability to see and hear into ours. I will confirm with the bailiff and the clerk that the audio is working. I'm told that it is from my clerk. If I could also get verification from the bailiffs who are in that courtroom. But we have the ability, I have the ability, through that technology for Mr. Brooks to meaningfully participate. He does have, and it was provided with him when he was taken to that courtroom, the objection sign. I also instructed that he be given a pad of paper and a writing utensil so that he could write down his objections. Or if I feel it appropriate, I can unmute and hear what his objection is. But it's my belief that the use of my ability to mute and unmute will assist the proceedings so that it's orderly, that it is free from disruption as best as I can control it under my authority under 906.11 and my authority given to me and expressed by the U.S. Supreme Court in Illinois versus Allen. Although I'm making a finding that he's forfeited his right by his conduct to be present for the continued cross-examination and any redirect of Mr. Marquez, I'll also make an alternate finding that the technology that I've just described provides the functional equivalent of Mr. Brooks being present during this case. With that, I would like to have the jurors brought in. I'll have the witness brought back to the witness stand with the assistance of the interpreter, and the state can continue with its cross-exam of the witness called out of order, but on behalf of Mr. Brooks.
All right.
And I am getting verification from the bailiff in the other courtroom through my bailiff here that the audio and video is working as it should. Would also like to point out that there are headphones at the table in front of Mr. Brooks should he choose to wear them. He has not worn them in quite some time. Previously made reference to needing it when he was in the other courtroom, so they are there and available. All right, would Mr. Marquez and Interpreter Ryan please take the stand, and we'll have the jury brought out.
I'm glad she's putting stuff like that on the record.
And just for the record, I will certainly let Mr. Brooks know he can ask to come back in when he's willing to abide by the rules of decorum and courtesy. The record should reflect the jury is being brought back in.
Was I the only one? Like, I'm so used to hearing him interrupt her that even while she was talking right there, it's like in my mind I could hear him interrupting and like talking over her, or like just trying to talk over her. Because I'm so used to like whenever she talks about him and like how he's disrespecting her in the court, he usually just like starts to scream over her. So it's so weird. Like, I'm conditioned to hearing it that was like.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. The record should reflect that Mr. Brooks is appearing from another courtroom. That should not affect the jury's verdict in any way. The state may continue with its cross-exam of this witness.
The state would have nothing further.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you have any redirect for this witness?
Oh, no,
Mr. Brooks, do you have any
redirect.
further questions for Mr. Marquez?
And he's playing the I can't hear you game.
Record should reflect that Mr. Brooks is reading out of a book. He has not answered the question. I will ask one more time. Sir, do you have any further questions for Mr. Marquez?
Am I unmuted?
You are. You have been.
This is so childish. Are you going to speak?
What's going on?
Do you have any redirect questions for Mr. Marquez? This is your opportunity to ask any follow-up questions that you have for this witness.
Well, he has to check his attorney's notes to see if redirect is even any questions for redirect are even in there.
Say something. I'm trying to see if the headphones on.
He asks her to speak. She says nothing. Yes. He commands the judge to say something. She doesn't say a single thing. I hope she doesn't
say something from the other courtroom.
Please don't.
Any questions for Mr. Marquez at this time? It's your opportunity to ask follow-up questions. The state indicated it did not have any additional questions.
I don't know why that was funny.
Nope, I don't got no follow-up question.
All right, thank you. Then, Mr. Marquez, you may step down. Thank you for being here today.
Darrell sure does know how to keep everyone in suspense, doesn't he? He did all of that just to say he has no questions. All right. Let me see who the next witness
All right,
is
I
going
need
to
to
be.
excuse the jury momentarily. Please rise for the jury.
Hope you're all doing good. I know I haven't said that yet because I just started the video, but I hope everyone's doing good wherever you are. Everywhere. I hope you're doing okay, staying safe. Hope you did something good for somebody today. Hope somebody did something good for you, as I say in the outro. I really do. I saw someone said that that actually helped them feel like they can do. I'm kind of butchering what you said, but
All right, thank you. Be seated.
I appreciate someone said that motivated them to do.
Mr. Brooks,
good
under
things and stuff,
Illinois
so that's great
versus
to hear.
Allen, which that case clearly tells me to do that, once lost, the right to be present can, of course, be reclaimed as soon as the defendant is willing to conduct himself consistently with the decorum and respect inherent in the concept of courts and judicial proceedings. The court is going to continue with the direct examination by the state of Detective Carpenter. I would like you to come back to this courtroom. Are you willing to conduct yourself consistently with the decorum and respect inherent in the concepts of courts and judicial proceedings?
I
Please
didn't
say
do
no.
anything to be held in contempt in the first place.
So are you willing to abide by the rules of decorum and civility? I would direct your attention to SCR Chapter 62, which has been provided to you previously.
Does that say anything in there about me being held in contempt?
That does not, no.
So why have I been held in contempt?
I didn't hold you in contempt, sir. You are simply in a different courtroom based upon your disruptive behavior. I'm giving you the
has not been disruptive.
I've put my findings on the record, sir, and the record stands in that regard. I'm giving you the opportunity, if you can, indicate to this court that you will conduct yourself with courtesy and decorum.
You see what he's trying to do though right now? He's trying to lull her into like an argument right now, when literally all she did was ask him a question, and the stuff that he's saying has nothing to do. It's a simple yes or no answer, but he's just like trying to get you lost in some sort of argument. You can tell this is how he's used to accomplishing things on the outside. I saw a lot of you in the comments, you mentioned this as well, like when with narcissists, this is something that they tend to do. And I've met quite a few people that are like that as well. Like they, and I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous video. I think I might have said, like, how does he maintain the stamina to like do this stuff for so long? Well, it's because he's just used to doing that to people, to like wear them down to the point where they're just like, okay, here, I'll give you what you want so you can get out of my face. And that's basically what he's trying to do. He's trying to do it to a judge, to like an entire court system. He's trying to wear everyone down to where they just go, okay, just go free, just get away from me. But it's not going to happen this time. You know, nobody's getting lost in the arguments or anything like that, because I don't know, he's just very childish at the way he tries to do stuff, and I don't know. But I noticed that even right now he's trying to.
Are you willing to do that, sir?
Is Your Honor willing to tell me why I've been held in contempt?
I did not hold you in contempt, sir. I've already indicated that.
Removing me from the courtroom is like holding me in contempt.
I didn't hold you in contempt.
Darrell telling the judge
you were removed pursuant to the authority given to me by the United States Supreme Court in Illinois versus Allen, based on your disruptive behavior.
My behavior wasn't disruptive, Your Honor. The record should be corrected in that. And as I recall you stating before, or not you stating, but us having a conversation about Illinois versus Allen, for the record, at one point, I got the date in my notes that we had it, where I said on the record that there were three options identified. And
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to have a debate with you on what the law means and whether you understand it or not. I'm simply asking you whether you are willing at this time to abide by the standards of courtesy and decorum that are outlined in SCR Chapter 62 and that are inherent in the concept of courts and judicial proceedings, including making proper objections based upon the rules of evidence, based upon the rules of procedure, based upon the law, that you will not interrupt when you disagree with a ruling made by the court, and that you will generally conduct yourself with dignity and decorum.
But is it not my right? Is it not my right to object?
This sounds like a no to me. Just move on.
I'm going to ask Mr. Brooks one more time if he would like to come back to this courtroom and if he's willing to conduct himself with dignity, respect, and decorum.
But for the record, I don't consent to being called that name, and I never stated that I wanted to be removed from the courtroom.
All right, I'm going to mute Mr. Brooks. He is clearly not answering my question. And given his recent conduct, I'll indicate he continues to forfeit his right to be present based upon the prior disruptive conduct. I have given him 3 opportunities to answer the question, would you like to come back into the courtroom? And in other words, to reclaim his right to be present. He has chosen not to answer that. I understand he disagrees with the characterization by this court of his conduct, but my ruling stands, and the reasoning for my ruling stands. What I will advise Mr. Brooks is once the jury is brought back out and once the witness is back on the stand, I will unmute him so that he can properly object. And then I'll rule on, of course, any objections. I certainly reserve my right to use the mute function of the audio-visual capabilities that I have should that right be abused. So with that, why don't we have Detective Carpenter come on back to the stand. The jury is advised to come out.
I forgot Detective Carpenter was coming back out. That's right.
Your Honor, I know you previously ruled that if Mr. Brooks wanted to come back into the courtroom, he could signal to a bailiff in the courtroom that he's in, that he believes he can.
Yes, thank you. He may absolutely signal to the bailiff, and then they can get that information to me, and I will promptly stop and we'll have him brought over. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
That invitation is an open invitation.
Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Make sure we're recording. We're good.
He wants to come back? All right. The witness can stay here. Please have the jury remain. We'll have to clear the courtroom so he can be brought back in. We'll be in recess for that.
Oh boy. Here we go. I might have to fast forward here as well. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to load them back up in here.
Record, and I've advised to have the jury brought out. I'm glad you're back here, sir.
Are you, Your Honor?
I am, sir, actually.
I'm not too sure. Especially when I bring up subject matter jurisdiction.
I've ruled on that, sir.
I know, but it hasn't been proven for the record.
If you disagree with my ruling, sir, you can file an appeal.
It has to be proven on the record. Has yet to be proven on the record.
I disagree, sir. You can have it. I'll rise for the jury, please.
These little silly moments that he attempts to have are some of the creepiest, like, makes my skin crawl sometimes, but he does these little silly, like, you can't see him smiling, but you can tell he's smiling right now. You know, even though he's bringing up the same stuff that he argues about, which is subject matter jurisdiction, but he's trying to say it in like a silly little bubbly way. I'm not liking it.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. All right, at this time, the state may continue with its direct examination of Detective Carpenter. And let me know if you need the audio-visual right away.
I will.
Okay. You want it? It should be coming on.
Sir, regarding the interview, we've been playing a couple snippets of the interview with Mr. Brooks from Exhibit 82 that took place on November 22nd of last year. I would now direct the juror's attention to 1 hour, 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name for the record.
Noted.
And I'd ask that be played till 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 2 seconds.
It's noted, but it's overruled. Go ahead.
Thank you.
So, what's your buddy's name? Can we get that? If we gotta talk to him to verify you're on the up and up and she's on some BS?
His name is Marcus.
What's his last name?
I don't know his last name.
What his phone number?
467. Oh, wait, hope if I had my freaking phone somewhere. 467. 85 31 or 30 or something like that.
112?
Yes, sir.
And he lives in Milwaukee?
Yes, sir.
And you guys came out here together?
Yes.
Okay, so he hasn't...
Well, like I said, Stephanie was she's a older mixed lady, so she's not, you know, she.
Who do you know in Waukesha other than her?
I know a guy named Terrion. I met
Terrion live.
I don't know where he lives now. I've been knowing him for maybe 5-6 years. I just know he stays in Waukesha. He comes down to Milwaukee a lot, and then he comes back up here.
How old is he?
Like 34, 35.
34.
Yeah,
Where did?
Maybe.
I
know a lot of females.
Well, how many times have you been to Terrion's house?
Once in like 2018.
Do you remember?
It was like an apartment. It wasn't a house though.
Apartment?
Yeah.
Do you remember what was near it?
I think it was like right on the main street.
What's the main street? There's a lot of
Like,
streets. Like is
whatever
it near
street
downtown?
What would be considered downtown?
Where all the bars and restaurants and
shops are.
He just drove his car through the
Stepping
downtown
near
area,
downtown?
through a parade.
So a bunch of bars and a business district right near there?
The only thing I can remember is a gas station, like a kitty quarter gas station. I think this street is like a one-way. Whatever street is right here is like a one-way, and it's a gas station like right here.
Remember what kind of gas station? It was a Mobile Speedway Quick Trip, hometown.
Not a Quick Trip, not a Speedway, like the blue and white one.
Any schools or parks nearby our house? Something like that? Anything you remember like that? Trails?
I know that park. I know that park is by old girl's house.
By whose house? Stephanie's?
Yeah.
Park. What?
I don't know the name of the park, but it has like a little creek or something. It was something going on out there yesterday to where a lot of shit was blocked off.
Okay.
I don't like I said, I don't know about Waukesha. I don't know, but it seemed like everybody was at that park, kind of walking around that creek.
Like a playground type park, or like a
park. It seemed like a little creek or something. Well, I don't know if you would say a creek. What would that be? But
river?
Would that be a river? Does Waukesha have a river? Well, I know it's just a small body of water. It's like, how would I describe it?
But there were barricades blocking some shit off near there?
No, it looked like in that area.
In that area?
In that area, it looked like a bunch of shit was like blocked. You couldn't go down certain streets or some shit. I don't know, but that park is close to the old girl's house where, that's why I said, look, when our friend was like, you know, your baby mama trying to get in touch with you. And I'm like, what's up? What's she telling you? What's going on? And she was just like, well, she said she got some money for you. And I was like, why would she tell somebody else? That's what I started thinking at first. Like, that's like, why is you? Because she'll tell me the same thing. Don't tell people our business. So then when she put us in, when she merged us in, you out here. I'm like, man, yeah, but I'm like, what's up? Like, okay, cool. You gonna fit.
What's interesting to see right now is that these detectives don't believe a single thing he is saying. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Literally every time he like plays dumb, like he doesn't know where something is, or he doesn't know somebody's name or their last name, they grab their face, like both of them, they grab their face like this for a brief moment, and then they're like, you can see the frustration. They don't believe any of this. But this is what's weird. He thinks the way that he's talking right now is very compelling. Like, he thinks the way that he's telling this story is like the most believable thing, and he can't believe, like, and you all talked about it in the comments as well. Like, I had mentioned it in the last video, and I saw a lot of comments, like, you all agreed. He thinks that these detectives are like his friends, and they're like hearing him out, and they're like, oh yeah, buddy, we know you're the good guy in this story, and that, you know, Erica is the one that did everything bad. But like, everything he's saying right now is a complete lie. You know, even the part where he talked about his kids living with him and stuff, and I didn't even catch that part initially, But then they talked about it, the fact that like they don't live with him at all. Like I think they live in other states and stuff. It's just weird. Like why even say this stuff? Does he think they can't find this out?
No,
It's
not
very
staying out here
weird.
like that. I'm watching the game and I'm gone.
Sick
So she
as
tell
well.
you where to meet, or you tell her where to
She
meet?
told me where to meet. I said it's a gas station right here. And she was like, is it a park right there? I'm like, I don't know. Is it a park right here? They like, yeah, there's a park right down here, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, just meet me over there. I'll get the money from you, give you a hug, give you a kiss, and, you know, I'll call you later or whatever. It wasn't supposed to be us hanging out, spending time together. It wasn't that. It wasn't supposed to be that. She got mad because I didn't want to do that. That's why I kind of figured, but like I said, I didn't see her drink. I'm not going to sit here and say I saw her drink. I'm not going to lie on her. I didn't. But when she started acting like, yeah, you finna, that's when I kind of was like, she probably been drinking. She probably haven't just stopped drinking, but you was drinking sometime today. I know you was drinking sometime today. I didn't tell her that. I said, yeah, because she's acting too, you know what I mean? Oh, you just think you finna get the money and leave, and you must got some bitch waiting on you, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, see, this is why. This is why I just should have just watched the game and left, dude. Like,
All right. So
the fuck,
Looney
man?
Tunes.
you came out. How did you get out here again?
My friend.
What type of car did you drive?
Oh, man. It's like a Kia type of car. I don't know if it's a Kia, but it's a small four-door car like that, in that type of model.
Okay. What color is it?
Like 10.
And was it just the two of you that rolled out together? Did anyone roll out from Milwaukee with
No,
you?
it was just us two.
Two of us.
He
You guys
said
can't
he said there probably was gonna be some chicks over here. You know, like I said, the Stephanie girl is an older woman. She, you know, likes to party, drink, you know, watch the game. She cooks.
Sure.
Cool, fuck it, let's watch the game. Shit, I was only gonna probably go to my mom's house and watch the game there, and my mom has to go to work. So I was just gonna be sitting here like this. Fuck it, might as well go. You know what I'm saying?
Did he offer to drive?
And at
You
the
had
same
your-
time,
Sorry.
cool, I can get the money from, you know, that she been holding for me.
Yeah. Did he offer to drive? Do you have your own car? Did he offer to
No,
drive?
I don't.
How did you guys come?
I
together?
don't own a vehicle.
Don't own
So,
a vehicle.
nope.
Do you have any car you can drive at all?
No, I have license.
So you have a.
I do have license, but no vehicle.
Don't ever use your niece's, nephew's, mom's car or anything like that?
My nephew doesn't have a vehicle. My niece is 14.
Mm-hmm.
What about your mom?
My mom doesn't even know how to drive.
She doesn't have a car, doesn't know how to drive.
She doesn't know how to drive.
Does she
She
have a
never
car?
learned.
Okay. She have a car that she lets you use at all?
No.
Okay, so I'm assuming that's a lie. I mean, he's lying about really everything. Like, it's crazy. He's not... Every single question I think they've asked so far has been a lie besides, what's your name? But, I think someone mentioned, like, his mom started a GoFundMe to get, like, a new car so she could go to work and stuff like that. So, that's... Yeah.
Does she have a car at all?
That's
Maybe
a complete
that's what
lie.
She lets you do. Does she have a car in her name at all?
I think she did at one point.
Does she right now?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say no because I don't know. I honestly don't know. Me and my mom we was kind of having family issues for a while, so we didn't talk for a while. Issues that didn't have nothing to do with this. It was between me and her. So we started back talking when I was in Georgia. So whatever she had going on when I was on the West Coast, coming back to Milwaukee, I don't know. But I can tell you this. My mom is 60-some years old. She's never drove. She doesn't know how to drive. She doesn't even have a license.
Okay.
She catches the bus to
That
work.
is insane. That
Which
is so crazy.
I don't like her doing because Milwaukee.
Sure.
She has to go. She works at Freighter. So she has to go. The way her bus route goes, she has to go way up to like 96 second. Then somewhere she told me they don't even have a bus depot thing. So it's getting cold as shit, and it's dark out there, and she's just standing out there. And I was just like, damn, I don't want. So I'm like, you probably gonna have to change your route to catch the bus from downtown Milwaukee on Wisconsin Street, downtown Milwaukee, and then go up, because I don't like her.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't like her doing that.
So you just argued a little bit, and then you're saying you walked away.
Trying to garner sympathy.
Yeah, I just told her, I'm not finna freaking, it was people out there, they would tell you, I did not put my hands on this woman, I did not push this woman, I did not choke this woman, I did not kick this woman, I did not grab this woman, I did not do anything to this woman.
People out there, as in like, just regular old civilians?
Just regular
like
civilians.
People
Just regular,
that know you?
regular civilians.
Did you meet her by yourself?
I met her by myself.
No one from the house went with you?
No one. And there was people walking up and down the street. Like I said, it was people out, because it was daytime. So it wasn't like we was just in some secluded area where it was just me and her. It was people out there, and they.
But anybody that knows you or knows
nobody
her?
that knows me. Nobody that knows me. I don't know if it was anybody around that knows her, but I know people were walking up and down the street. People were walking around that park.
Sure.
It was like, basically, we were out in public. Like, if we was out in public, if something would have happened, people would have, yo, what the hell? Like, where was we going to go to not be seen?
All right, so I might have missed this. You touched on it. You were at the gas station or the park? I know the park's nearby. You met her at the gas station?
The gas station. No, I met her at the park. The gas station was by the area that we were in. The gas station is by that park.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
He had a literal fist fight with her friends and
Which car
her.
were you in when you met her at the...
I didn't meet her in the car. I walked right over there.
You walked?
I walked right over there to the park, and she was standing, like, right wherever this entrance to this park is. Like I said, it was people everywhere. So anybody would see us standing out there. She was standing right there waiting for me. I walked up, gave her a hug, and I was like, and she was just like, well, my friend has my purse, so I don't have the money and all this. I'm like, so you had me come way out here?
Like a power play or something?
That's basically was like, yeah.
Okay.
You know, you basically, you see how fast you caught on to that, and I'm just like, you had me come way out here. You know, I ain't even supposed to be around you like that. You had me come way out here to meet you, for you to try to play and shit like this. I said, no, man, I'm gone.
Yeah. So
I'm out.
It was daylight when you met up with her. Was it still daylight pretty much when you walked away from her?
Yeah, it was daylight the whole time. This was broad daylight. That's what I'm saying. Like, people outside, everything going on, people walking around the park. I'm like, anybody would have saw us talking. Anybody would have saw if anything happened. Anybody would have saw if I did something to her, she did something to me, if I ran from the scene, if I did this, anybody would have seen it.
Do you know how she got out here to meet you out here? She didn't say?
She's apparently been staying out here.
Okay. So
this is what she told our mutual friend. I don't know if that's true.
All right.
I haven't talked to her and haven't seen her in like almost a month.
That's fine.
So I don't know.
You said you
This is so frustrated.
We're talking your cell phone, right?
Yeah.
You're not sure. Did you leave it? Do you keep that with you? Is that your phone that you have with you all the time? Because you seem, I don't know where it is. I don't have it. You seem confused. It's missing. Is that something?
Yeah.
You take with
Well.
you?
Yeah.
Like if you go somewhere, do you take your phone?
Absolutely. My mom just got me that phone. It's my first ever iPhone.
Okay.
I don't know if she was using it first kind of thing, but she was just like, I got a surprise for you. No, I never had an iPhone.
Hopefully we'll find it for you. And that's the number with the 610, if I had to call you after today, the 610, whatever.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's why I was asking him. I said, man, when I told him, I said, look, y'all, I'm reaching for my ID. That's why I said, how can y'all not find my flip-flops or my phone? I had on some Green Bay Packer flip-flops because it was game day.
Threw them away. That's insane.
And we did stop at 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 2 seconds.
Nothing but
Sir,
lies the whole time. That's crazy.
With regard to this clip, you asked the defendant about his phone, correct?
Yes, I did.
Did you know where his phone was when you asked him if he lost it?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
The phone was found inside the vehicle, so he didn't have it with him when he was
What vehicle?
taken into custody. The red Ford
Objection
Escape.
leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
I'm sorry, the red Ford Escape.
And in whose name was that car registered?
Dawn Woods.
And what relationship is Dawn Woods to the defendant?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
She is his mother.
Did you question, you're questioning about the phones, what significance, if any, did that have to you? Or why did you ask him about the phone? Strike the initial question. Why did you ask Mr. Brooks about the phone?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
The objection's overruled. Go ahead. You may answer.
One, to verify his contact information, but two, one, if we were to find the phone, it would help us know whether it is his. And if we were able to find a phone and we know it's his, knowing the phone number, including make and things of that nature, can help be used in location services at a later time to further verify that the suspect was, Mr. Brooks, was in Waukesha at the time when these incidents occurred.
And again, at the time that you asked these questions, did you know that the phone had been located in the car, or you did not have that information at this time?
Objection leading.
Sustain us to the form of the question.
What information at the time that you asked Mr. Brooks about the phone did you have about it?
Objection to the name.
Overruled. You may answer, sir.
Very little. At that point, I don't recall if I knew that the phone was inside of his mother's vehicle.
Okay, thank you. Now directing you to the mark of 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 20 seconds to 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 30 seconds. Let's play that portion of the interview.
That she drinks.
So after you talked to her, Darrell, where did you go? Do you have they found it was cold yesterday. You didn't have a jacket. Did you have a jacket with you?
I didn't initially have a jacket because, like I said, I was riding with somebody else. So I figured.
So you didn't bring one in anticipation of the cold?
I didn't because I figured I'm going from the house right to wherever we're going. So it wasn't like I'm finna hang out with y'all all night type of deal. We was just supposed to be watching the game, having a few cold ones, and then I was getting dropped back off home.
So what happened, Darrell, where you ended up, so I know you say you're not familiar with the area. So
At all.
I'll lay this out for you.
At all.
Follow me for a minute. You say you're kind of near this park. I got an idea in my head of where you're talking, based on my knowledge of the city. It's right near Stephanie's where you're hanging around watching the game and Marcus is there. You came out here with your phone, because you take it with you. How did you end up at this guy's house? Now you said
Right.
you walked away from Erica. Did she go the other way? You walked away.
From what I remember, she just stood there.
Okay,
She was just standing there like,
right.
well,
So you
whatever.
walked away and it was over.
It was over.
It was over. How did you end up at a guy's house asking to use his phone, which is blocks away from Stephanie's? Okay, I can tell you that based on my knowledge of the city, based on approximately where you're telling me it is. without your
It
phone
makes
in
no
use.
sense.
You understand where that's kind of weird? How did you get to be over there? What happened?
Yeah, but what basically happened with that was when I got back over here by old girl house, I just say, because I don't really know Stephanie like that. It's my friend's friend or partner or whatever the case may be. They was getting into it about pretty much the same thing that I was getting into it with Erica about. I was just like, him,
Who's him?
Marcus, him, her, and whoever else, Stephanie.
Was there anyone else there other than
Yeah, at her house, yeah.
Okay.
A few girls that I didn't know, but they had already said it was gonna be people over here.
Okay. All right, so
I was pissed because I feel like I just met up with her, with my baby's mama. I just met up with her for absolutely nothing. You tell me, okay, you out here in Waukesha, I'm out here, let's meet up, I got your money, and then I walk over there and you don't have the money. Or you do or you don't, you just ain't gonna give it to me, however the case may be. So I'm just like, okay, whatever.
well, hold on.
So when I get back,
you're pissed, but
when I get back over there, I'm pissed.
okay.
This is what makes it frustrating too. They're just trying to get specific answers to the questions, and he's turning it into like a therapy session about why he's a victim, you know, of the fake trickery that he's, because he wasn't tricked to come there. Like, this whole thing is a lie. But he's turned this into like a therapy session about, you know, why everyone treats him so terribly, and like he's just the victim here. It's the weirdest thing. And you still can see the detective, like he grabs his, like Detective Carpenter, he's grabbed his face like at least a dozen times at this point, because like this is annoying. Like, there are simple answers he could give to these questions, but he's just rambling about nothing at all. But really, I think it's just him trying to buy time so he can come up with like another lie for like the next question that they're probably going to ask her. Just some more like details he can come up with just to feed them really quick for this question that he just asked. I don't know.
They was getting into it, and he like, man, come on, bro, we just finna go. And I'm like, what the fuck going on? Like, I just got into it with it. Now y'all into it. He like, man, this bitch tripping. Whatever, let's go. I'm like, nah. No. I'm like, I'm out, dog. And I just started
Marcus
walking.
wanted to leave?
He wanted to leave, but I don't know what the fuck he was on. He probably didn't even get into it with old girl, but he out there like, man, let's just go, bro.
How long have you known Marcus?
I know Marcus for years.
Okay.
But you don't know his last name, right?
I'm going to be straight with you, because you've been asking me for that all along. That doesn't make sense. Listen to me, okay?
It doesn't.
You go to this house. You leave. That wind was cold as hell.
Not at first.
Well, by the time it was getting later in the day, I mean, after the Packer game, you're talking 3:30, 4 o'clock, it was getting cold. I was outside for a while.
Yeah, about like
So,
3:30, yeah.
by the time you're talking, it was getting cold. All right? Marcus is ready to leave, because this bitch is being crazy. He's like, I'm out. You just went through the same experience from what you're telling us. You live in Milwaukee.
I don't know what
Hold on,
exactly
hold on,
happened with
hold
him,
on.
though.
I told you to let me lay it out. I know you don't know exactly what happened. But who are you going to trust more? Marcus, who you've known for years, or Stephanie? Why would you walk away,
Right.
walk all the way down to where you did, leave your phone in the apartment, apparently,
No, I didn't.
along with
leave
your
it. I didn't
sandals,
leave it. I didn't leave it.
and go down to where you were and not take the ride back to Milwaukee? You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Can you understand?
I don't know if he
why that
left and
doesn't
went
make
back to
sense.
Milwaukee, though. I don't know if he did that.
But how are you going to get back if you don't get in the car?
I called an Uber. That's what I did.
So what happened? How did you get all the way to where you went? Because there's all these businesses in between where you were and where you got to. How did you end up at a random house without your shoes and your phone, Darrell?
This is what I'm saying. I had my flip-flops on. I I had them.
Okay.
I just said that.
Where did they go?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if when they slam me down, they just never. I don't know. I've knocked on 2 doors, not just the one.
So you had your flip-flops.
I had my Green Bay Packer flip-flops on. Yes.
Green Bay Packer. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't just walking around with no shoes. That didn't happen
This
until
is
after the fact.
unbelievable right now.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
So I guess another question I would have for you is if you had your phone too, correct?
yeah,
Okay, you didn't leave it at the apartment.
no.
Stephanie's.
That's why I was telling you it should have been on the grass. Remember, I described the phone to you. I said it's black. It has a cracked screen.
Yep.
He's trying to say they slammed him so hard that his shoes and his phone and everything went flying, and they just never recovered them. I guess that they just could never find
Yeah,
him
he did.
anymore.
Yeah.
That's
Why are you
unbelievable.
asking other people to use their phones? Why is that guy letting
My
you-
phone was dead.
Okay. When did it die?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And I didn't have a charger.
But you used it for the 3-way call.
And I used his phone for the 3-way call.
Okay.
Like I said, we got a mutual friend named Michelle. Me and Erica do. I've known Michelle just as long as I've known Erica. She was the one that was telling me what's going on with you and your baby mama. Y'all not talking because she trying to get in touch with you. I said, yeah, I know she probably trying to get in touch with me. Well, I'm finna merge y'all. That's how I end up talking to her and telling her I'll walk over and meet you to get the money or whatever, give you a hug, give you a kiss, whatever. I had my flip-flops on then. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't just, because the way he was making it seem like I was just running around with no shoes to begin with.
Right.
It's like, no.
I mean, it was pretty cold. You didn't have a jacket or a sweatshirt.
Well, I didn't have a jacket to
That's
begin with.
exactly what he was doing.
I didn't have a jacket to begin with, but I'm saying my shoes, I had flip-flops.
But you had a jacket before? Or
I
no?
never had a jacket.
Okay.
I had flip-flops. Green Bay Packer
Flip-flops,
flip-flops.
no jacket.
Right, because I didn't feel like I was going to be, like, I'm not going to be outside. Well, I'm thinking I'm not going to be outside. If I'm just going from a car to a house, it's no reason for me to have a coat on, or at least that's how I'm thinking. I always do that. That's just like if I had a car and I know I'm finna go somewhere and I'm like, I'm just going from here to here. Well, it's no reason for me to just get all bundled up and do all this and that. It's no reason for
Were
me.
there still a bunch of people out when you left? When you left her
It
house?
was still daytime.
Okay,
It
you
was
said
still
there were a bunch of
daytime.
people when you were talking to Erica. There were still a bunch of people when you left Stephanie's.
When I was no, I wasn't talking.
When you left Stephanie's,
It was still daytime.
it was still daytime?
Yes.
Okay. Were there still a lot of people out?
It was
Kinda
still
like there
it was
were?
still people out.
Okay.
It was still people out. Not a lot in that area. By the park, it was a lot of people out.
Okay.
Like I said, it looked like something was, I don't know what the hell. But it was a lot of people out. And it was, like I said, it was people, it was older couples walking down the street. It was younger people walking down the street.
It
People
looked
just,
like an event or something was going on?
I don't know, but it kind of seemed like it was a lot, like it was something going on to where it was vibrant. Because there was a lot of people everywhere.
Walking
everywhere.
up and down the street.
Everywhere. It's people. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I got into a fight with her right there, it would be impossible for somebody to not be like, hey, this guy's fighting this chick or whatever the case may be. Like, how could somebody not see something?
How long was it between leaving Stephanie's and those cops yelling at you at the door of that guy's house?
Was it dark when they yelled at you?
Yeah, by the time they came, it was dark.
Okay.
But we had been sitting out there. We had been sitting out there for a minute, me and the guy. We was sitting right there on the porch. We was just sitting there.
Define how long, estimate.
Maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
It wasn't long, but it was long enough for, like, 'cause like I said, he let me use his phone. We sat on the porch. We were sitting right there, just like this, just sitting on the porch. While I called me an Uber. I called the Uber. I said, look, man, I let him know. I said, look, I ain't trying to rob you or nothing like that. Because when I knocked on the door, he kind of was like, whoa. I'm like, look, I don't got no weapons. I'm not trying to break in your house. I'm not trying to rob you. Nothing like that, dog. I just need to call an Uber. That's it. I'm not, he was just like, okay, I'll come out. Boom.
He forgot the part. He told him he was homeless.
I need an Uber to,
which is another
address.
lie.
He told me the address. And we was just sitting there waiting. That's how I was going to get back home. I told him, I said, I got the money on my card. I'm not asking you for no money. I just need to use your phone. That's it. That was it. That was all. And then from there, we sat on the porch and just shot the shit out.
I'm saying, you told me last night he was cool with that. Like, he wasn't,
Yeah,
he wasn't being weird. He was just like, oh yeah, I'll help you out.
Yeah, we just sat there on the porch.
Right.
And he did ask me, he said, do you need a jacket? I said, no, I'm straight. Like, I'll be home as soon as the Uber come. I know it's probably going to cost me probably like $40 to get from me. I'm guessing. I don't know, but probably, but I had enough on my card to where I.
What's weird to me is he tells these lies as if they don't have the capabilities to go and check and find these things out for themselves. Like, he says these lies as if he's the only source of information and, like, you just have to take his word for it. It's like, why would you even say this stuff knowing that they could simply go and ask him, what is it that this guy said to you? And even though, like, in this instance, he's mixing truth with lies, like, some of it is true. But then, like I said, he left off the part where he was talking about he was homeless, and it was another detail. Like, it's a couple things he really, like, he left off of this. But also going back to, like, my mom doesn't own a car. She doesn't even drive. It's like, they could definitely go and check that. I don't know why you would even think that you could, like, get away with that in this moment. It's just weird.
I knew I can get home. And that was the main thing. I'm like, I'm just going home. She can keep the money or whatever. I didn't even try to contact her further. I just was like, I'm gone. I'm calling this Uber and I'm going home. That's it.
Let me ask you this, Darrell. So you weren't out in Waukesha Saturday, just Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. Nothing physical yesterday. Like I told you, you're a part in the investigation. There's a lot of parts, right? To any investigation. There's people we talk. Well, this domestic abuse thing I'm telling you about, right? Okay.
So
he's trying to make sure it's not for the parade.
I'm sorry. I just had a question, but
you talked about being a religious man, right?
I could do better. I could definitely do better.
We all could.
I'm not.
We all could.
No,
That's why.
Yesterday was a mistake. I should have just freaking watched the game and just fucking went home.
Right.
Because.
And that's the thing. What do they teach us in Christianity, Darrell? That they teach us that we're broken, right?
He has no idea.
Even when we're born sinners. We're broken. That's why
Psalm 51,
we're so
17.
thankful for God's grace and forgiveness, right? When we ask for it. Even though we don't deserve it. But when we ask for it, he gives it. All right? You're a father. You got 3 children, 18, 14, and 7?
Yes, sir.
All right, you got a mama that raised you well, and a God you believe in.
Absolutely.
All right, and all of them are, here's the thing they'll all want, is to tell that you're telling the absolute whole truth and nothing but the truth, right?
Absolutely.
So help you God, right?
Absolutely.
Sound familiar? We've all heard that, right?
That is so insane.
And I just have concerns if I fact check that Darrell's not telling me the truth. You don't have a car, so Marcus had to bring you out. You don't own a car, your mom doesn't own a car, right? So Marcus had to bring you out. So why did we find you with a car key in your pocket?
It wasn't in my pocket. I don't even know where they said that was laying on the ground.
That's yours.
I didn't even think about that.
It should have been by my ID.
Yeah, it's yours. It's your car key, okay? Because it goes to a Ford Escape in your mom's name covered in Waukesha. Okay. Listen to
Ooh.
I'm trying to be as open and honest with you as I can be.
Hold on, what's he gonna do now?
Believe me, I'm not perfect. And neither are you. I'm not calling you a terrible man. I'm not saying you were out yesterday hunting, and just let me finish. But you did not walk to that house. You did not walk to that house. You did not come here in a tan Kia. You didn't.
Right.
And who?
You did not come out here in a tan Kia. Okay? You got a key in your pocket to a car, your mom's name. Okay? And that key works for that car. For the love of God,
man.
Marcus. For yourself, for your family. You know what happened yesterday. For the people. Tell me what happened.
Well, what?
With the car.
What am I being
With your
investigated
mom's
for?
car. You were driving goofy, people called you in, you drove out of there in your mom's car, the red car, you're driving a little silly, probably because you're pissed. You met up
Here we go.
with Erica in the car at the park. Now initially I believe you told us the gas station, do I have that right? And then you changed it to the park. So that's an
No,
inconsistency.
I said the house was by the gas station. When you said what was by.
You said you went
Landmark.
and
Who
was by
cares?
the
It was a
gas
lie.
station, that's where you met her.
No. I said I
Let's
met her
try
at
to
the
put it
park.
this way.
Okay.
At a
Well,
creek.
you met her,
I did say that.
You met her at the park in your mom's car. A red Ford Escape. She got in, you talked, and what you're telling me seems pretty consistent, that there was nothing physical between the two of you.
No.
But you met her in the car.
I didn't put my hands on her or nothing.
But
like
you
that.
met her in the car.
Tim, what's going on, man?
Asking you a question.
Just be.
You were out there
Just tell
driving
me
kind
what's
of
going
crazy.
on,
Some
man.
people said you were driving kind of crazy. We got reports of it. You got the key, you got the car. Did you take the car or did your mom give you the car? I know you know what car I'm talking about.
I just want to know. So,
Some people
Now,
reported,
listen,
you had all those
okay,
people
no,
out
no,
there,
no,
and they
no.
reported that
No.
car driving a bit erratic.
I know what you're saying. All I'm saying is this. We all been straight up with each other.
No.
You knew it was more to what you was asking me yesterday.
Didn't know
That
for
would
sure.
explain the FBI and all that, right?
So wait, is he really trying to pretend right now that like, oh, you betrayed my trust? So this is why, and this is pretty much why he's angry with him, and he somehow believes that like, oh, you should have told me. You should have told me up front that this is what you wanted. Like, it goes to the point that I was talking about last time. He really thinks law enforcement are supposed to just outright tell him, like, everything. As soon as they, like, catch him, you have to tell him everything you have on him. And then he can, like, answer you based on that, which he already proves he's not trustworthy. He will lie about everything. But then he's still upset that you didn't give him the opportunity to lie about the entire situation. It's just so weird.
They're not here today. So if it's that big a deal,
But how
you don't see
stupid
them
is
here
this?
today.
He's angry that you
Come
didn't.
on, Kurt. Hey, we been.
You guys met in the car, in the park.
We been
Yeah,
cool,
that's all.
man, the whole time. If I did something
Yeah.
wrong,
that's why they were
serious-
here. But do you see them here today? They're not here today.
Yeah, but
We've
y'all
been cool.
lied to me, man. You made it seem like they just come for no reason.
Well, here's the thing, Darrell.
And I'm like, what if it's
Listen to
that?
me for a minute.
I apologize.
I can give you a clean slate here.
I apologize.
Because you have lied to us as well. Because
Yeah,
you came out here in the red Ford Escape.
the
And
whole
that is
time.
what you came out here in. You had the key. Alright? So, what I want to do is try to give us all a chance to reset. You understand what I'm saying? Start over. Because you're not giving us an accurate story. You didn't ride out with Marcus in a tan car. You said your mom doesn't have a car. I just told you we've disproven that. Alright? I don't know what kind of woman she is. I don't know what you all been through. But you were seen in the car driving kind of acting a fool. Okay? In basically the same area that you've already been able to describe to me. I'm just trying to figure out how and why it happened. What made you tear out of there? What made you so mad where you're like, fuck it, and you raced on out of there? had people call, man, he's driving around here kind of fast.
All I want to know, like I said, y'all been cool with me. Am I charged with anything? That's all I want to know. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Right now,
listen.
You were driving a bit
so
reckless.
listen.
Might be an OWI.
Listen. No, I don't drink.
You said you had a couple cold ones during the game.
No, yeah, but I'm saying the hard alcohol is not my thing. I was not drunk when you get the.
And the
Starting
video
to
stopped
get
at
like-
1 hour, 38 minutes, 30 seconds. Detective, can you explain what was occurring here during this clip?
Objection.
Excuse me.
The objection's noted, it's overruled. Go ahead, you may answer.
So in this clip here, my goal and intentions were with Mr. Brooks to start getting into the details of him driving the red Ford Escape through the parade route, and to begin confronting him with information about the Ford Escape key that had been found in his pocket. Obviously, to this point, Mr. Brooks had told us his mother didn't have a vehicle that she let him use. He didn't know if she had one at all. The vehicle was in his name.
So is it his name?
I'm sorry, in his mother's name, Mrs. Woods, Dawn Woods. It stated he didn't have a vehicle at all.
Objection, leading.
The previous objection, it's noted, it's overruled. The witness may continue.
He had made statements earlier in the interview he didn't have a vehicle at all, that he had ridden out in the Kia, which is not true. The investigation showed Mr. Brooks came out here in the red Ford Escape by himself, so he was in fact in possession of a vehicle. He was in fact driving a vehicle. In regards to the area, it should be known that Mr. Brooks's description of the park, Frame Park is the park where people in the parade, whoever they might have been, lined up. They were lining up at Frame Park. Frame Park is a park that has a body of water, as Mr. Brooks described, more specifically the Fox River running through it. So he was able to describe that park. There were people everywhere walking up and down the street, just as he said. Streets were closed off via barricades, via marked squad cars, via police tape. So he was able to describe that, and the way he described the area was exactly almost how the area looked with the parade. It was extremely crowded due to the people marching in the parade. It was in fact shown to be daylight when Mr. Brooks met with Miss Patterson and then departed from Miss Patterson. That is something we learned, and I was able to confirm that based on how he described it. Furthermore, he describes and he gives the impression, Mr. Brooks does, that, well, if I was in the domestic, someone would have seen it. Someone would have seen it because there were all the people there, and there were, but it's not necessarily going to be seen as easily as Mr. Brooks was trying to lead me to believe, because it took place inside of the vehicle. Mr. Brooks did not walk to the park to meet Miss Patterson. That was proven as evidence in this investigation. He drove there and met up with her in Dawn Woods' red Ford Escape, which is the same vehicle after departing the park, drove along Main Street in Waukesha through the parade route.
The key found in
Glad he refers to him by his
the
name.
defendant's pocket. Did that operate the red Ford Escape that was eventually located, that was registered to Dawn Woods?
Objection. That's been answered numerous times.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
There's never any depiction of a key being found in the defendant's pocket.
The objection is noted. It's overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, it did. And, as we discussed the key more, you can even hear in there that Mr. Brooks acknowledges it should have been near his ID.
And was his ID all?
Or what did he? I couldn't fully hear what he just said.
As we discussed the key more, you can even hear in there that Mr. Brooks acknowledges it should have been near his ID.
Near his ID.
And was his ID also found in his pocket? Do you know?
Objection
Yes, it was.
leading.
Please wait till I rule on the objection. Sustained as to the form of the question. I'll strike the last answer. Please rephrase.
Where was his ID found?
In his pocket.
And the information you had, where was the key found?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
Objections hearsay.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
The key was found in his pocket.
Yeah, how do you know that?
Now, you also talked to Mr. Brooks about his phone.
Please kick him out again.
Where did he say his phone was?
According to Mr. Brooks, at this point, the phone should have been near him. I believe he said in the grass.
And what did you take that to mean? It should have been near him in the grass.
Objection. That was never stated.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
I would interpret it as right next to him, where he was arrested.
Okay, that's what it's just where he was arrested.
Yes.
Objection leading.
Overruled. The answer may be given.
Yes.
After the defendant met with Erica Patterson, what did he describe his emotion as being?
Angry, frustrated over the fact that Miss Patterson brought him to the park and did not have the money to provide him that she indicated to him prior to that she would have.
Where did he say his flip-flops were?
Objection. Answer.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Well, when he indicated that he departed Stephanie's house, they were on his feet. However, during the course of his arrest, he indicates he doesn't know where they went. So somehow, apparently, they, I guess according to Mr. Brooks, disappeared.
Now, the clothes that the defendant's wearing in this video, specifically the red shirt, was that a shirt that was provided to him by law enforcement?
Objection hearsay.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
No, ma'am, that's the same shirt he was wearing at the time of his arrest.
Did he indicate to you during this interview whether or not he had a coat?
Objection. So on the video.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Mr. Brooks indicated that he did not.
And how long did he say he was on the porch with the homeowner whose house he was arrested at?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
I believe it was like 20 to 30 minutes.
The weather that evening, was that an appropriate shirt to be wearing for 20 to 30 minutes outside?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
No, it was not.
So now I'll direct your attention to the video. I'd like to play 1 hour 40 minutes, 0 seconds, to 1 hour 41 minutes and 30 seconds. If we may play that now. Go ahead.
This interview is honestly making me kind of angry right now. Like, I don't even...
Right, so what you had
Just
your
hearing
phone
what
at
he's
is
saying.
You had your mom's car, or I don't know if you use it. Who uses it? You got the key in the car. Is it hers? Is it yours that she lets you use? Let's clean that part up. Whose car is it?
It's my mom's car.
Okay. How often do you drive it?
Not very much.
It's the red Ford Escape.
That's all I want to know. Please. Just please. Whatever you can't tell me, I understand. I understand. All I want to know, just so I can have a peace of mind, just for my girls, man. What am I looking at?
That's so crazy.
Well, the fact you were kind of racing around up and down the street. That's the first part.
For his girls.
Right? So, we're not quite there yet. I'm trying to figure out if I've got all my facts right first. So, this wasn't a three-way call. Let's back up to there for a second. How did you come to meet her in the park?
So y'all can't tell me nothing?
Well, you were driving.
You just told you.
And the video stopped at 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 30 seconds. Sir, is this the first time in this interview that Mr. Brooks acknowledged knowing about the red Ford Escape?
Objection, leading, and that was not stated.
The objection's noted, it's overruled, the witness may answer.
I don't consent to being called that name for the record.
Overruled.
Yes, that is the first time.
Now, again, Mr. Brooks is asking about the charges. Did you recall seeing that on this clip as well as the clip contained within 1 hour, 19 minutes and 20 seconds and 1 hour, 38 minutes and 30 seconds?
Objection, leading, and compound questions.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes, I recall that.
And again, what was the significance of that question in terms of timing of both clips?
Objection, leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Well, to that point, I've been talking about the domestic abuse incident with Mr. Brooks, and I started talking to him about driving, and just driving kind of fast. I had not noted to Mr. Brooks yet at that point that he had struck anybody. It seemed to me, based on Mr. Brooks's behavior, reasonable to believe that Mr. Brooks, it was clear to me he could remember something else happening, and I could sense what Mr. Brooks was attempting to do at that point was draw out of me more information. And again, as I stated in my earlier testimony, to gauge his truthfulness, I wanted to hear what he had to tell me about the incident before giving him too much specific detail. At this point, Mr. Brooks, for example, Miss Woods' vehicle, he indicated she did not own one. He had lied to me. There is the risk if I start giving him too much specific information, he's going to create a lie about what I gave him, and so on. So Mr. Brooks kept insisting to know the charges before talking to me, but for the integrity of the investigation, that was something I couldn't and wouldn't provide him.
Direct your attention to 1 hour, 44 minutes, 30 seconds, and playing until 1 hour, 45 minutes and 35 seconds. It is at 1 hour, 44 minutes, 30 seconds now. I'd ask that it be played.
And I was just going to say, he hears himself right now pleading for them to tell him more, like, what's going on and stuff, because he loves to feel like the victim. So right now, well, I guess he does. He seems like a person that he wants to be the hammer, but he doesn't like to be the nail. Like, he likes to be the person that, like we said, is in control here. So I feel like him hearing himself on video right now beg and plead for them to, like, essentially just tell them everything up front so he can lie his way out of it. He feels like a bit humiliated from that. So now he's going to just go all out, when the cross-exam comes, which I want to see what's going to happen with this cross-exam. It's not going to be good for Darrell.
Objection.
I want to tell you
Hopefully we get to it.
You're charged with XYZ. If you didn't do XYZ, we got to correct it. It's all fact gathered.
I just feel like y'all know more than what y'all say though. And that's what has me like why should I cooperate when there's no cooperation with me? Nothing I'm saying is gonna help me.
I mean, like, it doesn't make sense, dude, that we're trying to
He's pulling
gather
out
the
some food
facts.
to eat.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, you know,
Okay.
what you guys are doing. I'm just saying I don't want to get railroaded by people not being honest. That's all I'm saying. And if I don't know what I'm looking at, it's like, what the hell? Like, why should I just sit here and be like, oh, this is everything and blah 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 blah, and then people come back and be like, okay, now so now we're gonna charge you with this and this and this and this and this when y'all knew this from the door.
Well, we don't know that we're gonna charge you. We're that's again the fact
And
is
it's like,
we're
dude.
asking the questions about.
He's pretty much I'm sorry, I'm pausing like in the middle of the questions and stuff. He's basically admitting to them, you're not telling me everything so I can lie more about it. They're telling him, we're giving you the chance to be upfront with us. But he's like, oh no, I can't do that. You have to tell me first. But it's like, dude, you're basically telling them to their face, you need to tell me everything that's happening so I can lie out of it. And the fact that he keeps saying, I just feel like it's more that you guys know. You're basically admitting right now. He's admitting that, like, yeah, I did a lot more with that vehicle than what you said, which is just driving fast in that area. But this is really, this interview is, like, getting me really aggravated right now. This is insane. And then he's pulling out some food. He's eating it. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
That's why we're.
What's going on here, sir? Oh, I'm sorry. For the record, it stopped at 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 36 seconds.
Thank you. Go ahead, you answer.
So at this point, Mr. Brooks is still continuing to try to determine what exactly, he's being charged with. And, another part of this investigation is it was so broad, I didn't know exactly what some of those charges even were going to be. I had an idea, but I didn't know exactly. And in reality, what we wanted to know at that point is where he drove, have him tell us where he drove and why he did it. But Mr. Brooks just was not willing to indicate that to us and explain that to us without us telling him what specific charges he was looking at. And this is a theme that continued over the next several hours.
Direct your attention to 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 36 seconds, playing until 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 30 seconds. And it is starting at 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 36 seconds.
Go ahead.
So your issue right now with us is you feel like we're not sharing.
I'm getting railroaded.
Okay.
I know I am. No, y'all not telling me what's really going on.
But we're not getting the full truth either.
I know, but and what I was saying was,
I didn't give that an issue. So when you left, you guys met in the car. You didn't walk there. She got in the car.
If I tell you everything that happened, are y'all gonna be straight up with me about what I'm facing? That's all I want to know.
Well,
I don't want to know
not
anything
gonna.
else. I don't need you guys to tell me, hey man, this is this, that is that, this is this. I just want to know. Just for the fact that, like I said, my girls.
Yeah, no, I got you. I don't know the entirety right now. So while I'm here, a couple officers talked to Erica. I'm not the only one working on it, so I don't know everything. I got a report to a boss, so I don't know exactly everything that's going to be yet. And that part's not a lie. I don't know exactly everything that's going to be yet. I'm just trying to figure out to get to that point where I can have a clear idea and call who I need to call to get some of the information to find that all out. I'm trying to get a clear idea of what really happened regarding you and her. And when you drove away, where you were going. Or did you not know? You know what I'm saying? Because right now, I don't know everything.
Wow.
Because I'm out here and they're out there. Oh, Waukesha.
Right, and I'm like, how long do I gotta sit in this? Where are we at?
Skigo.
How long do I gotta sit in this jail before I can call somebody? get a phone call. Let my daughters know, hey man, I don't know what's going on, but it's good to hear your voice. Are y'all okay?
Yeah, we're trying to get to that
That
point,
is
Darrell, but
unbelievable. That is really unbelievable right
the
now.
question I asked you when you left, where were you going? Did you know or did you not
The
know?
levels
Were
of
you just mad
lowness
and you
is
left?
just-
Where were you going when you initially drove off?
It's never ending.
If you didn't know where the hell you were going, or you didn't have an idea, or you didn't have a particular destination in mind, so be it. And we've been talking a couple hours. You want to sit and eat a minute?
I wish they had some Tylenol. I've been trying to fight this pain, man, since
They might, I don't know.
they show. I
I don't know
asked
how.
them.
Did you ask them?
Yes,
So they don't?
they just said they'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Don't give them any Tylenol.
It hurt worse now than it did yesterday, or last night, rather.
Yeah, it's going to be sore.
It's definitely sore.
There's no doubt about that.
Oh my
Take a
God.
break and see if we can round up some Tylenol and let him eat.
Yeah.
He literally just now started doing all
Let me see if I
that.
can find some.
He didn't
Yeah,
do
I
it
just
this
wanted-
entire time.
Let me see if I can find some.
It's
I
so
can't
many
give you any
things going through my
guarantees.
mind right now. The pain,
You don't know.
I didn't even know she called the word.
She didn't call.
Or
I
the
think
cops or-
Yeah, someone else did. I know you said you lost your phone, or you didn't
Yeah.
know where it went dead, and now you don't know where it is. If we find it, so we know it's yours, can get it back to you. I know you said it's cracked, but
No, well, the screen is cracked, but it has a. I don't think it went all the way to the
what's
glass.
the code? So we know it's yours, and if we can try to return it.
It doesn't have a number code. You have to
Can you draw it?
do it with that.
Can you draw it?
It's dead. It's not even gonna turn on.
Well, yeah, but
We don't want to
we
give you
can
somebody
charge
else's
it. We don't want to
phone.
give it to somebody else. It's like.
It's a 7. It's
Typically, it's 6.
the phone is dead. So
Like I said, we can charge it. I don't want somebody else to say, "Oh, that's my phone."
You
And then we're
try?
giving your property to somebody else.
wait a minute. So that sounds like y'all got my phone.
If we find it. I didn't say we had it. I said if we find it.
It's a 7.
Still trying to determine what they know so he
so
knows
in that
how much to
direction.
lie.
Okay. All right. So this way down. Okay. No, I don't know if they have it now, but if we find it, you don't have it, so it I would think it'd be somewhere in the area of that house.
And the video stopped at 1 hour, 54
Man.
minutes, 30 seconds. Can you explain to the jury what just happened?
That's just so. That's infuriating.
Overrule.
He mentions his
So what was
daughter
the
so
answer?
many times, and it's like, dude,
So in this clip,
stop it.
there's a couple things. First, obviously, the conversation with Mr. Brooks at this point has gotten into the parade issue, the driving issue, which is a little bit more serious. I noted that for the first time in a long time, he began bringing up pain in his shoulder again, something he hadn't been doing for quite some time up to that point. It seemed and felt deceptive, as if it was perhaps a stalling tactic. The other issue became, in the context, was the phone. So the phone that we ultimately recovered from Mr. Brooks, one was an Apple iPhone. That is the code I was specifically requesting from Mr. Brooks at this point. We have forensic analysts who download electronic devices. Those could be DVR systems, computers, but most oftentimes in our technology today, they're cell phones. And when I provided that code to Detective David Fine, who does that type of work, he indicated that could not be the code, as the Apple iPhones did not have swipe codes. They should have had numeric or facial recognition.
Thank you. Directing you now to 2 hours, 2
That
minutes,
didn't even
30
surprise me,
seconds,
to be
and
honest.
playing until 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 45 seconds. And it is starting at 2:02:30.
has to be one of the slimiest human
look
beings
forward to.
ever
But
like
it's
listened
like-
to. Like, what is
This
this?
woman, man. And I love her to death, man. I want her to be my wife, man, but I just wish somebody could tell her that. Like, I wish somebody could really tell her, like, man, this dude loves you, man. Why are you doing this to this guy, man? He literally wants to marry you.
Is he talking about Erica?
16 years, man, off and on. I'm not gonna go mess with nobody else, man. That's the person that I want to be with, but I'm not gonna continue to be the scapegoat because you want to drink. And when you know I don't, you making it seem like I just beat up on you. Like I'm just like you're a punching bag or something.
Man, can we just get him back to the cell already? It's like I said, he wants to have a little therapy session. And this is honestly why he's so angry right now. He thinks that him forcing this, once again, a therapy session, I keep calling it, onto them just automatically makes them friends. They don't even want to hear this. They keep grabbing their faces like this. But to him, this makes them stick as thieves right now. Like they're all friends in this room. But nobody wants to hear this. We're here to get the answers to the questions about why you did such a terrible thing. But he keeps coming back to himself and the way I feel and the BS about his daughters. And now he's sitting here and trying to convince them about how much he loves Erica and stuff. Like, all of this is... And right now I'm stalling because... listening to this, I didn't intend for this to like make me mad right now, but it's like, man, this is insane. This is so crazy.
I don't wake up and be like, oh, bitch, I'm gonna hit you. Well, I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. It's like almost like I'm demonized here. Like,
I'm not saying you're a demon.
no, not you, not y'all saying that, but it's just I feel that way because
you're trying to just.
I know you heard that. Oh my God. Oh, that fucking hurt.
Sure.
I know you heard that.
I heard it. It's in check.
We're gonna go check with them. Maybe they'll listen to us a little bit better. Maybe.
Fuck.
You want us to check?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, give us a minute. See what we got.
Dude, it gotta. How,
Let's go get him an
gotta
Oscar
be
too while
something
we're in
wrong,
there.
man.
We'll see if we can find your
How in the
Oscar.
hell is it?
Sometimes
Yeah.
brains will pop too.
Yeah, but why is it hurting like this? And they say there's nothing.
Because
Dude,
sprains can actually be more painful than a break.
whatever
What they got,
they did, it hurt so bad.
You want to keep the food? Why don't you keep the food and the soda and we'll be back in a few minutes.
God.
This sounds so believable, right? How crazy would it be if he just went right back to holding it normal as soon as they left? What is this weirdo? Oh, look at this. Look, he's holding his arm normal now. This dude is a straight up weirdo. Look, he's taking the time to go through their stuff. Arm completely normal now. This is insane. Look at this. This dude is a clown. Oh my goodness, dude. That is wild. Did you see?
I think we got that Tylenol. We'll be right with you.
He stopped for a brief moment, right back to acting.
And the clip ended at 2:05:45.
He doesn't want to
Describe
stare at
what you
this
saw
though.
here.
Yes, ma'am. So
This isn't the part he wants to see.
what I noted is that Mr. Brooks initially, as we're in the room, continues to suggest that he's in severe pain. And once we're out of the room, there's no more groaning. There's no more grabbing of his shoulder. Rather, there's an interest in looking at the paperwork that's left behind and attempting to use the phone. As soon as that door opens, Mr. Brooks then suddenly places his face into his hands and is suddenly in despair again.
Okay, moving
Clown.
to 2 hours, 49 minutes, 0 seconds, and playing till 2 hours, 50 minutes, 40 seconds.
I'm ready for the cross exam.
And we are at now 2 hours, 49 minutes, 0 seconds.
This is one of those instances I want the cross exam now, just so like, because I just got a feeling he's gonna tell him about himself. Like, dude,
So this is
you're a clown. I know what you are.
What if it wasn't me driving?
I can't hear what he's saying.
What if it was my mom's truck,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't driving?
Mm-hmm. What if it was you?
What if it wasn't me?
Mm-hmm.
He said, "What if it wasn't me?"
Who else would it be?
That's what I'm asking. Not asking you who else would it be.
Right.
I'm just asking, what if I knew?
Mm-hmm.
Would I be asked to give that information?
Well, like I said, we're here to gather truth. So if somebody else was driving that car, yeah, I would want to know who that car is so we can go talk to that person.
Looks like he's
But a
hatched a
huge part
new
of that
plan here to try to wiggle out
It's
of
going
this.
to be your honesty with it.
Right. No, I was just asking, because you just asking.
You know, you've already figured out you're not an idiot. You're not a dumb man. You're a smart guy.
Right.
I see that. You know that we've been working on this.
That was
The
another
video
lie.
stopped at 2 hours, 50 minutes, 40 seconds. What's going on here?
Overruled the witness. May I answer?
So at this point, Mr. Brooks, I've stepped out of the room, is offering up to Detective Stern that there's a possibility that someone else may have been driving the vehicle. Now, when asked about that, as we can see, he pretends he doesn't know who that person would be. It's untruthfulness, it's deception.
Hold on a second. I'm going to advise the witness to refrain from characterizing what Mr. Brooks is saying or not saying. It is solely up to this jury to determine credibility of any of the witnesses and the believability of even any statements made during these interviews. And I'm going to strike that characterization from the record. Please ask another question.
Sir, this interview goes on for another 2+ hours, is that correct?
Yes.
Objection, leading.
Overruled, it's foundational. At this point, the witness may answer.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Does Mr. Brooks at any time ever tell you that someone else is driving his mom's red SUV?
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Leading the witness.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No other individual or no other name is ever provided.
Thank you. And now direct you to 2 hours, 57 minutes, 30 seconds, playing till 3 hours, 5 minutes, 41 seconds. It is now at 2 hours, 57 minutes, 30 seconds, and as the video commence.
It's hurtful.
So you brought that up where you don't want to see anybody.
What are those?
I'll show you in a minute.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to see anybody get hurt, or sorry, you don't want to see anybody get charged for something they didn't do. But you already brought up too
He
that
wouldn't care.
if somebody did something, that they should be held accountable for it, and that you're willing to accept responsibility
What's going on with
if
that?
it's.
Can I show you something?
You look like you gotta film me or something.
No, I'm not filming it. That you?
Is that a video of him
Nah, I ain't got
Driving
no,
through the
man.
parade?
It looked like whoever. It looked like Gray.
Right there. You can see your face.
No, that's not me.
That's not you.
That's not me.
That's not you.
No, I don't.
Darrell.
That's a
Darrell. That's you.
That's you, Darrell.
Why you say it like that, man?
Because we talked about the honesty piece. You keep telling me that you tell the truth when you did do something. And you take responsibility when you do something.
There's your mom's car again.
That is so crazy.
There's your mom's car again. Next to a child, which I know you care a lot about, children.
Next to a child, from some other.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's your mom's car.
Yeah, I was just asking him about my about
That's your mom's
what's
car
going on with that.
that we took the key for from you. So, you can't tell me at this point I'm playing any games anymore, you know?
I didn't say you was playing games from the get-go.
Well, you felt like
Just
we were being totally straight.
last night I felt like
It wasn't
y'all-
as fluid
y'all
as
knew
you
more.
wanted.
No, it wasn't the flu. It was just
And it wasn't as much as I wanted
I
either.
knew that y'all knew more than what y'all was saying, and I felt like last night with that whole, them coming in the way they did, and because I'm sitting there in the thing and I'm watching them walk past, like, what in the hell? And seeing that, I just felt like, okay, y'all already know what y'all want to do, what y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just want. I didn't know what y'all want. It just seemed like y'all knew more than what y'all was gonna tell me. It was more so like I feel like I was being railroaded to be like, okay, tell me this, but we already know over here what we gonna do.
How is he being railroaded when they're giving him the opportunity right now to tell them beforehand what he did? Yeah, they know what he did, and then he's indicating that he did more by saying, I just feel like you know more. So there must be more then, right? You did more, and you know that. So he understands that he did something terrible, but he's just trying to see how much of his terrible deeds that you know of that he has to admit to. If you don't know all of it, then okay. Like he wants you to know, or he wants to know first how many of it or how much of it you know. Because he's not going to give you the full truth. He just wants to know is specifically how far we need to go with this. And it's like, what? And he's acting as if that's the wrong thing. Like, how could you do this to me?
We just want you to tell them yourself and say you did this and did that, so we can already justify what we already want to do. And it's like, I don't feel like that's fair.
What time did you come out here with the car? What time did you head out from Milwaukee to Waukesha?
I don't want to talk, man. I don't want to talk if I'm not getting nothing.
I just showed you 3 pictures.
Okay,
man.
you showed me pictures, but you're not telling me what I'm facing.
You know what you're facing.
I don't. That's the hope.
You
That's
drove
why I
down
keep
a street.
asking.
You drove down a parade route. You got a pretty good idea what you're facing.
You see what I'm saying? So now this is more stuff coming out, man.
Yep, and we told you we were looking for that explanation.
And that's you.
And all I'm saying is,
behind
look,
the wheel.
all somebody got to do is just tell me what I'm facing, not tell you guys whatever you want to know.
There it
I
is.
said that 3-4
There it is.
times.
There it is.
And it's like, yo,
So, Darrell, what were you thinking when you went driving through this parade?
what am I facing? That's all I want to know. I don't have no
got-
problem talking with you guys.
You got people injured that had to go to the hospital.
So they're saying I injured somebody, or you're saying I
You
injured
did.
somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm looking
You
at
got
what,
hurt.
reckless endangerment?
At the very least, yeah.
The very least.
People got hurt. That's reckless endangerment. I don't know exactly what they're going to classify it. Yeah, people had legs broken.
Endangerment's where you may have hurt somebody by your actions. You did hurt somebody by your actions.
So what am I being charged with? That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know exactly
We're
yet.
still working that out. That's
I
what
don't
we're
know
talking
all
about.
of the details. You're not going to get that out of me. I'm sorry. I'm explaining to you. Driving down there, you're looking at people got hurt. People got some broken legs.
And y'all saying that's me.
I know that's you.
How you know that's you?
Because I can recognize you. I can tell it's you. And that's your mom's car. That you had the key for. I can ID you, Darrell. I'm just asking you to be honest about it.
Be honest about what I'm facing.
What do you think you're facing?
I don't.
What
All I
should
can
you
is
be facing? What do you think hypothetically? I mean, you've been through this gamut before.
right. And y'all knew I was getting charged with this from day one. So why y'all couldn't just charge me and take me to county jail where y'all was gonna take me, man?
Because we
Because
wanted those
that-
answers.
yes,
Because you wanted me to tell them myself.
Because
That's
that-
basically what y'all wanted me to
You
do.
told us that there was reasons for everything.
No, I'm saying, but, and I'm not
Tell me
trying
the
to
reason.
y'all
He's
feel,
acting-
I'm not.
He's acting as if he's a victim right now. It went from him. This is insane. Like, it's actually really, really infuriating. It went from them talking about him killing and injuring a bunch of people to all of a sudden, how could you wrong me? Like, this whole thing is just against me. The fact that, like, this is insane. This is just so crazy. Let me hit play.
Tripping with y'all, because y'all been straight up. So I'm not, but I'm saying, come on, dude, if y'all knew this already, why y'all just didn't take me to, why y'all just didn't do what y'all had to do?
Here's where you're at right now.
And it's like, you take me through the runaround to get me to do something that y'all already.
Can I speak? Here's where you're at. Okay. I'll tell you straight. Here's where you're at. One of two people did this. And I mean that from a human perspective. There's the God-fearing Christian who loves his kids and his mom that you say you are, and I want to believe you are. And in many ways, you've presented yourself as, who went out, got in a fight with his girl, argument, whatever you want to call it, and went and just done screwed up. Or there's the malicious guy. The malicious guy who's lied to me about his love for God, who's lied to me about his love for his mother, who's lied to me about his love for his children.
Don't spin it, man.
It's one of those two people, man.
It's not a spin, it's
saying,
who you
don't
are
spin
as
it,
a
man.
person.
Don't spin it, man.
That's who you are. That's who you are as a person. It's not a spin. The truth hurts, I guess. But this is who you are. He's telling you directly to your face. You're a liar. You lie about your faith. You lie about your love for others, and everything that you've said about who you are as a person is a lie.
Which one are you?
You're not gonna spin it.
So
Which
soak
guy
it
are
in.
you?
Soak all
I'm
of
the
it in.
God-fearing guy that you've been talking to since last night,
Then
man.
tell me the truth about
And you know
driving
that.
down
And you
road.
know that.
Then tell
you
me
know
the
that.
truth about driving down that
Tell
road.
me what I'm facing.
I've just told you some of what
He
you're
just
facing.
told you, you clown. He just told you. What is this?
Reckless endangerment. That's almost like saying I killed somebody.
No, you want me to give you the entire case without
You don't
giving
have
me
to.
anything, and I'm
No,
not
I'm not.
going to do that.
That's not what I'm
gonna
asking.
do that.
That's not what I'm asking.
Yes, you are.
No,
From my
I'm not.
perspective.
No, I'm
Remember when
not.
I talked to you about perspective?
I'm not.
Remember when I talked to you about perspective? Truth somewhere in the middle, all that?
Yeah.
That's how
yeah.
I see what
and
you're
saying
at.
you got me doing all this and that, but y'all sit up here and come in here. Well, I'm not blaming it on you guys. I'm not. But y'all sit up here and here. The police do this every single time. Even when you try to be, look,
Show me
you try,
a guy
you
say
try to be straight up with them. You try to tell them the truth. You try to do all this and that, and they still railroad you
You're not trying to
every
tell me the truth.
single time.
You're not trying to tell me the truth.
Not
anymore.
It's not even, no, it don't got nothing to do with that, because I just told you, I don't have a problem with telling you everything you want to know. I just wanted to have an idea. I just wanted to have an idea. That's all I said last night.
You know what I want to know.
And that's all I said today.
You know what happens.
Okay, what am I being charged with? What are y'all going to charge me? What are y'all going to recommend? What are y'all going to do? Because at the end of the day, I'm still, this is why I feel the way I feel.
Oh, I'm so glad they paused it. Talking about his feelings.
The video
and all this
stopped at
pointless
3 hours,
crap.
5
Nobody
minutes,
wants to hear
41
this.
seconds. Sir,
Thank
you
God they
had
paused it right there.
walked into this room, or I believe you had presented a cell phone to Mr. Brooks. Do you recall that in the video?
There's been an objection. I'm going to sustain it and just ask you to lay a better foundation.
Sure. So you came in and you had your cell phone with you, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Did you receive any additional information when you and Detective Stern went out of the room prior to this clip?
Objection. Whether it's
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, I did.
What information did you receive?
objection leading.
Overruled.
Specifically the photographs that I brought into the room.
Okay. And what was on your phone?
Objection.
Overruled.
Relevancy. Can't see what's on the phone from the video.
Overruled. The
She's
witness
asking
may
him
answer.
what
You
was-
can ask him on cross-examination if you have questions.
So the video or the photo I showed on the phone, if you look at the monitor right now, as I'm facing it, if you face it up there, the right half.
And you can,
is-
it's a touch screen. So if you
Oh.
want to circle something or point to something, and you can use your finger.
Your finger, not that
Yeah,
tool. That
sorry.
tool doesn't work.
Sorry, I kind of drew over it, but that half of the paper is a photograph that I was able to positively identify as Darrell Brooks, the defendant, behind the wheel of the red Ford Escape while it was in the middle of the parade route. That picture was the same one that was on the phone when I showed it to him.
Okay.
How do we know that?
We'll be able to cross-examine the witness. That statement by Mr. Brooks is, I'm directing the jury to disregard as it's not proper testimony. Go ahead, next question.
I apologize, Your Honor.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
What were the other, what was on the other papers that you put down on the table?
All fake.
So the other papers, one of them was Mr. Brooks' vehicle shortly after it had entered the parade route. That is where I specify to him he's driving past a child. There's a child towards the passenger side of the vehicle. Another one is the vehicle where it was located parked on Maple Avenue within the city. I would also note that when you look at those photos carefully, the initial one as Mr. Brooks is entering the route and passing by this child, you can see the vehicle is undamaged, where the second one I showed him where it's parked is significantly damaged on the front end.
Were those the photos, all the photos that you showed him at this time?
At that point, yes, they were.
Okay. Now, he had said twice in this, I don't know if you recall, I will tell you what you want to know. Do you recall that being stated by Mr. Brooks?
Objection leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
What did you want to know?
I wanted to know why he drove through the route. I wanted to know what caused him to make that decision, what was going through his mind. The evidence at that point, and this is evidence, as I'm stating, it indicated his mother's vehicle drove through the route, that he was the individual driving through the parade route when the vehicle went through the route, and I was looking for explanations why, intent, motive, whatever it might be, for him to tell me, and he's not willing to do that.
This video goes on for another hour and 50 minutes. Did he ever answer that question?
Objection. Speculative.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
No, he did not.
Direct your attention to the video at 3 hours, 5 minutes, 57 seconds to 3 hours, 13 minutes, and 58 seconds. It is now starting at 3 hours, 5 minutes, 57 seconds.
Go ahead.
He'll probably go before a judge, right? What do you want him to think?
I mean, it's nothing I can have them think because y'all already basically saying, okay, this is what happened. We just want you to tell us that this is what happened so we can just charge you with this, which we're going to charge you with.
Are you the good guy that screwed up or the evil guy that doesn't care?
Oh, I definitely care. I
Okay, tell me the
definitely
truth.
care. I definitely care.
If
Why
you
would you
just
try to
really
scare
care.
like that? Just because
If
I
you
don't
just-
want to tell you something. Now I don't care. Now I'm the malicious guy. Now I'm this, now I'm that. Just because I don't want to talk.
One other option, you know the truth. We've been talking for a couple
Y'all
of
apparently know the truth too.
I told you
Apparently.
when we came in, it was to get
Man,
your
you knew this
perspective.
last
This is the
night.
weirdest thing on earth.
Come on, Kirk, you knew this last night.
He keeps saying, all right, let me not pause it. I'll just listen. I'll just let it
This
go.
was, I
You
told
knew
you
this
that.
last
This came
night.
out. Yes, I told you that.
And you
I'm
could've been
basically
like,
repeating
yo,
myself.
some people got hurt. We want to know what happened then.
I didn't know enough details last night. There were people out there all night, processing a scene, the entire night, until about, I don't know, noon today.
Come on, man. Y'all knew,
To about noon today.
y'all knew all this, man.
I didn't know everything. I'm
He's
telling
the
you,
one that
you
was
can
lying,
believe
but he's
me.
acting as if
I
they're...
got no reason
Because
to lie
I know
to you.
y'all
It was
not,
complete
I'm not
chaos.
saying, listen, I'm not saying you're lying.
It was complete chaos.
I'm not saying you're lying.
So that's what took so long.
I'm not.
But you know how it got to be that way.
But
So
also,
tell us how it got to be
I
that
can't
way.
even get a word in.
Because we're going round and around and
Okay,
around,
well,
Darrell.
We're just going to keep going around and around then.
And you're acting like you don't.
I mean,
you're
it's
acting like you don't know what these are, and you do.
No, you making it seem like I don't care. Like I'm just this heartless type of person, dude.
Well, it
I
feels
couldn't
that
even,
way.
okay, that's fine, but look at my position. I've been in here for 24 hours. I haven't even gotten a shower, good sleep, my shoulder's fucked up. I haven't even got a phone call to even notify anybody, talk to my family whatsoever, not one time.
I'm disappointed, Darrell.
I'm disappointed too because you lied to me, Kurt.
Because
Can we get him some
You lied
Kleenex
to
so he
me.
can cry?
what
Nothing-
you want
listen.
him to do with
No one
Listen,
cares.
one of your kids.
And didn't I just
What do you
say
want him to do with
I
one of your
don't
kids?
have any problem telling you what happened? The only thing I'm saying is I feel like you were trying to railroad me by how you went about it. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I'm not saying.
Okay, we've
I'm not
discussed
saying-
that for about an hour. So tell me what happened when you
See
drove
what I'm
off.
saying?
We're not going to make any more progress on that. I get you're pissed about that, and I'm not going to fault you for it. I'm not going to tell you not to be mad. I'm not going to tell you not to feel like, man, that was bullshit, but Carp, why'd you do that? If that's the way you feel, gotcha, it's okay. I'm not going to tell you you can't. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how you should or should not feel about how I went about presenting things last night. Okay, but what I've confronted you with and told you today is your mom's car's out here. I've now shown it to you. You know, you want me to, tell you all these things.
No.
Hold on.
Right.
But what I told you from the start, and I did tell you this, is that part of it's a give and take. There's things I'll tell you, but I can't just tell you everything. We've shown you pictures, all right? We talked about if the roles were reversed, what you'd want my partner, Ben,
Yes.
to do.
Yeah, you did say that.
We talked about that. What would you want it to do if it was your kid with the broken leg? And look,
So a
I
kid
want
got
to
hurt?
believe a lot of people did.
A lot of people got hurt.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah. Darrell, you were there.
Is he really trying to act
A lot of
oblivious?
people got hurt.
Yeah, there's people hurt, man.
This is
Like
insane.
that?
Broken legs and stuff like I told you. Concussions, hit their head.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that happen to nobody, dude.
I don't believe you would either.
Yeah, but you
And I'm
just
not saying it's on purpose.
you just thought, yo, this dude is heartless.
So tell us otherwise.
You know
I
what
didn't
I'm
say
saying?
that. I'm
Because you
asking
are.
you,
Fuck,
what
man.
do you want it to be perceived as?
Tell us how it is then. If we're wrong and it's not heartless.
You can tell that this is yet another layer to the manipulation, to his manipulation. Like I feel like at this point he realizes, okay, they pretty much know and have every single thing. Which, once again, how did he think they wouldn't know? Or even if they didn't know it, how would they not find out? But this is just him pivoting to another way to manipulate them. He is heartless. He does not care. You know? After 9 days of experiencing this trial, like just seeing it, it's pretty easy to come to that conclusion. He does not care. He doesn't. You couldn't convince me otherwise. But I feel like this was just him pivoting to something else, like trying to now manipulate them on the, to pretend like, well, I do care, and I don't know. He's trying to appeal to some, just seem as if he does feel some sadness about it, and you know, now that they brought up his kids, he has to pretend again that it's just weird. Like this. Oh, man.
What it was. I'm here to listen if it's something.
Definitely getting under my skin with this
I'm
one.
sitting here. I haven't walked out.
Come on, Hurt. Come on. Y'all know. Listen, man. Y'all know. If I did not talk to that woman, I would have never, ever be sitting right here talking to y'all right now. I'm not blaming her, like I told you. I'm
You
not
literally
gonna
just
demonize
did.
that woman. She's a good woman when she's not drinking.
It's not about her anymore, Drew.
I know, but
And I
I'm
believe
just
that
saying.
she wouldn't be in this position if you hadn't talked to her. I believe that.
You didn't have to put the picture down. You didn't have to.
The stroller.
That's a stroller.
Yeah.
So a kid got hurt.
Yeah.
A kid.
Yeah.
Bad. You said a lot of people got hurt.
Get checked out, yeah.
A lot of people got hurt.
To me, it's a pretty good injury if a doctor's got to check you out or you got a broken leg.
Yeah, so what do you call my shoulder? I'm just making a joke, but yeah.
I don't know. Well,
Talking about his
I want
shoulder.
to believe you're the man you say you are, Darrell, but I'm not laughing because there's nothing funny about this.
No, I was just saying. No, it's not. It's never been that. Dude, I don't take my life as a joke. I don't take my life as no joke. I was just making a joke about my shoulder when you just said, you know, if it's a serious injury, if you got to get looked out. And I was just saying I had to get looked out, but they didn't say it was serious. They treated it like, oh,
Let's say spend the night.
you're the guy in cuffs, so.
He brings it right back to himself. No matter what they say to him, he brings it right back to him. What about me? What about...
Well, you said that part, not me.
No, I'm just saying that's how they, not how you acted, that's how they were acting. It's like, oh, well, there's nothing broken. Well, why do I keep having this throbbing, burning pain if there's nothing wrong?
Where were you going, Darrell? Help us understand something.
I can do that. I just want to understand what's...
So these parents
I
know
wanna understand.
why their kid got hurt just the way you want to know why your kid got hurt.
I want to understand what I'm looking at. That's it. A reckless endangerment.
Yeah, that's something you're looking at, right?
Just because some people got hurt.
Yeah, people got hurt.
He's literally not going to tell him. He doesn't care.
Now, I just want to say this. You know that when you said it wasn't the end of the world type thing,
Because nothing's the end of the world.
it is. I'll tell you why.
Not when you have God in your life. It's not.
It is, because
That's what I believe anyway.
I believe that too, but you don't want to have God in your life when you're sitting in prison. Can't see your family, can't see nobody. What does it matter then?
And the clip stopped at 3 hours, 13 minutes, 58 seconds.
Man.
Sir, what went on in this clip?
Overruled. The witness may answer.
So in the clip, I was continuing to try to get Mr. Brooks to tell myself and Detective Stern what occurred, explain the reasons why, understand, how and why it happened. I was more direct with him at this point and, told him that recklessly endangering safety was certainly a possibility as a charge here. I let him know that people got hurt, including broken legs and concussions, yet Mr. Brooks was still unwilling to explain to us, give us the clarity, give us the information we were asking for to understand, why he did it. Despite us talking about God, I talk about Detective Stern and what, if he had injured one of Mr. Brooks's children. That's something that comes up, and what he would want a person to do if this was one of his own family members, I guess, to say if the roles were reversed. But none of those things were anything that made him any more willing to speak to us. It continued to be really demands to know what he was being charged with, even though at that point he's being told what he's very likely looking at. But that kind of back and forth just continued to occur.
At any time during the time you spent with Mr. Brooks on the 22nd or the 21st, did he ever ask how any of the injured people were doing?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name in this leading the witness.
Overruled as to both. The witness may answer.
No. I mean, for example, I gave examples of concussions, broken legs, but there was no follow-up as to whether these concussions were going to cause people brain damage, whether the broken legs would impair people from walking again, or if there'd be amputations. He never addressed that.
Finally, directing your attention to the video at 3 hours 40 minutes to 3 hours 44 minutes and 2 seconds. It's at
I would like that last answer by the witness strike. How can anyone determine what will happen as a result of an injury? How can you even determine that?
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. May I have that timestamp again for this clip?
Sure, it's 3 hours 40 minutes.
I'm
0
telling
seconds
you, this is the.
to 3 hours 44 minutes 2 seconds.
And this part, it really gives you an insight as to how his mind works, because like he said, he brought up God, he brought up the injuries, even though he didn't go into like the full extent of all the injuries. He told him pretty much what happened. Like he told him exactly what he did, and still at this moment the only thing he cares about are the charges that he's facing. And you know, this is another situation where it's like, I don't know. This part is very, 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 very infuriating, you know. But I'm just gonna let it play at this point. I'm not gonna do too much talking because.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Where the charges go?
Just watch something. Just watch something for me.
And more incriminating stuff. I'm already like I'm about to lose my life, man.
You should.
Can I ask a quick question?
Hold on, watch it.
I know. Why do you want me to watch it?
Because I'll show you. I just want you to watch it. Watch it.
Why though?
Watch it for me.
Why though?
Because I want you to see what's in the video. Did you watch it?
No.
Will you?
I just want to know why you want me to watch it.
Because I want you to see what's on the video. Why don't you want to watch it?
I just want to know why you want me to watch it. I didn't say
I just want you to see what I told you.
Problem.
You're not accepting the answer. I told you I want you to see what's in it. That's why I want you to watch it.
You wanted information from us, we're
I
sharing
want
it.
you to watch it and see what's in it. Yeah, it's a good point. It's information sharing. Okay, so I want
Yeah,
you to
but
watch it and
you
see what's in it.
It's like you like badgering me like a little
But
bit.
Darrell, you asked me a question. Okay? And this is more than what we had before. So I am showing you more. I'm asking you to watch it. Will you watch it?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay,
I
that's
just
fine.
want to know what was the reasoning.
Because I want you to see what's in it.
I mean, I'm pretty much.
It's not complex. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just that. I want you to see
I
what
understand.
happens.
I'm just saying I already know. I already have an idea from what you guys was saying earlier.
But I want
So
you to
it's like,
see it.
It's like watching all I'm thinking about right now is
Here, we'll talk in a
what a
second.
hell of a journey it's been, but this is how my story ends. That's all I've been thinking about. Like, it's nothing that I want to.
Can you look down?
Why do you want me to see that card? Why?
Because I think it's important.
Why is it important? Is it to make, like, what is it?
Well, why don't you want to look?
I'm just asking. I'm not trying to raise my voice at you, or
I'm just asking you why you don't want to look.
I'm just saying why.
You see how he's cowering right now in this corner? I'm not trying to raise my voice at you. Coward won't even look at the video to show that shows him what he did. Ridiculous. I know I said I wouldn't pause again. I'm sorry about that, but
Why did you bother
it's ridiculous.
So because I think it's important. So you see what happened.
You told me what happened. You already told me what happened, Kurt. Y'all told me what happened. I understand my life is over. I'm trying to come to grips with that. I'm trying to come to grips with the fact that this is how my story ends. From trying to love somebody, I'll never see my kids again. My mom, my relationship is gone from me. And it's like, what is it to look at more? My life is, for me to look at my life end?
That's you, Darrell.
Is it looking at my life ending?
These are the same photo. I'm just telling you that. Okay? I think it's important you see these.
It's important for me to see my life end.
It is
His
important
life.
for you to see 'em.
His life.
My life end.
Are we gonna keep going round and round about this, or is there something you wanted to tell me?
Nothing's gonna help me at this point. Everybody knows what was going on from that y'all knew last night, why I was getting investigated, why I was, you know what I'm saying?
Those are children right there. Those are kids. See that little kid right there? You gonna look at it?
Listen to how gruesome those sounds are. And once again, I've never seen the actual footage. But just hearing it, you can tell just how chaotic it must have been at this moment. But literally in this moment, it's no remorse being shown, you know? And that's what they're showing right now. That's what he's proving to the jury. The fact that this man, the only thing he is concerned about is that his life is over in this moment. But, I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. I'll just let it play.
Sir, and it did stop at 3 hours, 44 minutes, 2 seconds. What were you showing Mr. Brooks?
Objection leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
I don't consent to that name being used.
At that point,
Hold on. Were you done with the objection?
Yeah, I was done.
All right, it's noted and overruled. The witness may answer.
at that excuse me, at that point I was showing Mr. Brooks a video that had been provided to me of him operating the red Ford Escape through the parade route. At that specific point, Mr. Brooks struck members of the Waukesha South Marching Band, and I wanted him to see it. It was more information. He was asking for it. I felt it was important to see his reaction to it, to see if he'd be willing to talk about it. And at the point where I paused it and brought the piece of paper that his head is now down on, I paused the video at a point where you could see that it was Mr. Brooks behind the wheel of the vehicle. And the point at which I paused was a still photo of that moment that was on the paper. So it was, I guess, the same picture.
Did you get any further with Mr. Brooks in the next hour that's contained in this interview?
No, I did not.
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. The witness's answer may stand.
On the 22nd, did you end up collecting DNA from Mr. Brooks?
Yes, I did.
How was that obtained?
Overruled.
Through buccal swab, so they're basically Q-tips out of a sterile package. I used 2 of them, one to swab the inside of the right inside of his mouth and the other the left inside of his mouth.
Sir, just direct your attention back to this video one last time. Did the defendant ever watch that video?
Leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
No, ma'am, he did not.
Nothing further.
All right, we will pause for our lunch break now. It's 12:43. I appreciate everyone's patience as we were able to at least complete the direct examination. When we come back from lunch, Mr. Brooks, you can start your cross-examination. We'll take an hour and 15 minutes, so come back at 2 p.m., everyone. All rise for the jury, please.
Man, that was very heavy. You know, we had a short time where we didn't go through details like this in I was saying maybe a day or so, but just to see his actual reaction and like how much he didn't care is, I mean, we know these things, but just to actually see it, just like the coldness of all of this, it's a bit much. I'm gonna pause it right here for now, and I'll come back with part 3 in a couple days. I promise I'm gonna get this one out very quickly because I know everyone is waiting to see the cross exam. So I'm sorry I gotta pause it right here, but I'm actually working right now, so I'm gonna get back to work and then I will work on part 3. Okay, so I'll see you all very soon. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you did something good for somebody today. Hope somebody did something good for you, and I will catch you all in the next one.